Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and selamat selamat pagi. Good morning. Right, today I will present about TAKAFUL and my name is Muhammad Ifan Fatih bin Muhammad Syafi'i. So this recording for subject Islamic Financial Planning and Wealth Management. Right. So next is about the meaning of TAKAFUL. TAKAFUL is a word derived from the Arabic word al-kafala, guarantee, which means mutual guarantee. In terms of the interpretation of Shara, it is a pair of a group guarantee each other and help each other when the participant of the group are hit by a disaster, right? So, takaful, takaful and insurance play an important role in providing financial protection in the events that something unexpected happens to you, such as suffering from a critical illness, being involved in an accident, suffering property loss, or even death. In general, takaful can be considered the Islamic version of insurance. However, there are differences in the principle and method how takaful operates. Takaful is not only limited to Muslim, but is also open to non-Muslim who wish to subscribe and receive the benefits of takaful. Next, we will talk about type of insurance. So, they have four type of insurance. Firstly, about general insurance. Secondly, is about life insurance, and thirdly, about personal accident, and lastly, about medical and health insurance. Alright, firstly, about general insurance. General insurance or non-life policies, including car and how owner policies provide payments depending on loss from certain financial events. General insurance is usually defined as any insurance that is not defined as life insurance. It's called real estate and casualty insurance in the United States and Canada, as well as non-life insurance in continental Europe. Right. General insurance can be categorized into following, like firstly about motor insurance, second is about health insurance, third is about travel insurance, fourth is about home insurance, five is about marine insurance, six is about commercial insurance, and next is about accident insurance, fire insurance, and fire insurance. That are for the general insurance. And last but not least, about thief insurance, property insurance, flight insurance, livestock insurance, and plant insurance. So that's all about the type of general insurance, the categories of general insurance. So next I will talk about life insurance. Life insurance, also known as life insurance, is a contract between an insurance policy holder and insurance company, in which the insurance company promise to pay a fixed amount of money to be beneficiary upon the death of the insured person, usually the policy holder. Depending on the contract, other events such as terminal illness, uh, or critical illness can also trigger payments. Policyholders usually pay premiums either regularly or all at once. Benefits may include other expenses such as funeral expenses. Alright. So next about a life policy is a valid contract, and the terms of each contract describe the limit of occurrence of the insured person. Often, specific exception written into the contract limit the u- u- uh, user user's liability. Common examples include allegations related to suicide, fraud, war, riots, and civil unrest. Difficulties may arise when an event is not clearly defined. Consistently, difficulty may arise when an event is not clearly defined. For example, the insured person has consciously taken a risk by agreeing to an experimental medical procedure or by taking medication that result in injury of death. So next is about personal accident. Personal accident only focus on accidents. So that's you need to know it's only focus for accident, not the same like general insurance or life insurance. So every accident plan is not the same. There are insurance that are have insurance that are cover 100% of accident and some of that do not cover. So the difference is personal accident only focus on accident only. So it depends to the plan of the type of insurance who promote that promote. So next about medical and health insurance. Medical like usually we know about medical card. So medical cards are created insurance companies with the purpose of enabling contributors to obtain medical service for an emergency at panel hospitals designated by the insured. The types of medical service are subject to the type of coverage with the policy chosen by the contributor with this medical card. It can help you not to need to cash payment as long as the insurance premium is still running when you need to be rushed to the hospital. Typically, insurance or takaful operators will offer several different medical coverage plans in terms of coverage such as total coverage, total hospital allowance, and so on. The type of coverage will determine the premium, which is the price to be paid each month. The insurance company will also issue a medical card for the selected medical policy to each contributor, which in turn can be used to receive hospital treatment service. Interestingly, hospitalization is now much easier. Just need to show the medical card as long as the service you need at the point are in a policy plan. No more waiting for hours before receiving treatment, and there is no need to worry about paying the cost of hospital treatment because medical fees continue to be managed by the insurance company. So that's for about type of insurance I have explained. So next about insurance. Insurance is mean protection from financial loss. It form a risk of management primarily used to hedge against the risk and contingent or uncertain loss. Insurance is type of financial tools for protection from any risk that can be purchased. So, what the difference between insurance and takaful? Sorry, saya tukar slide. Right, okay. So the insurance is a means of protection from financial loss. It's a form of risk management primarily used to hedge against the risk of contingent or uncertain loss. Insurance is type of financial tool for protection from any risk that can be purchased. Sorry. Alright, okay. The difference between takaful and insurance. Takaful, firstly about right. Takaful is a protection plan based on Sharia principles. Need to contribute money into a takaful fund in the form of tabaru or participation contributor. And general takaful takes three types only, namely like motor takaful, personal accident takaful, and home takaful. Different for insurance. Basically, insurance involve an agreement between the insured person, is you, and the insurance company will bear the risk. So the premium will be invested by the insurance company. So the same the difference is about Takaful. Takaful also invested by Takaful not attend with invested in the wrong place lah. Like Takaful sorry, like conventional, it it invest in hotel, uh uh like hotel, sorry for you, like percurian and anything. It's about riba. Takaful is clearly no riba. Don't not attend with the riba and focus on Sharia compliance. Alright. So basically, sorry, uh so basically insurance involve an agreement between the insured you and the insurance company will bear the risk. The agreement is known as a policy. And for you to receive coverage as a policy holder, you have to make a payment, also called a premium, to the relevant insurance company. The premium will be invested by the insurance company. You can choose how the investment may, and this may involve business that do not comply with Sharia principle, including business that have elements of gambling, usury and high risk uncertainty. Just like insurance, the Takaful operator will invest your contribution as well. However, only Sharia compliant business are qualified. Therefore, the burden on your mind can be eased if you want to ensure that your Takaful subscription is Sharia compliance. As in conventional insurance, Takaful offers various type of plan that include life coverage or family Takaful, medical, education, investment and more. Based on the Takaful contract, the agreement is based on the concept of ta'awun. The meaning of ta'awun is a cooperation and helping each other. This means that participants of Takaful plan holders are not only able to protect themselves in the event of a disaster, but also provide assistance to other qualified Takaful participants as well as their nominees. Each time, participants pay a contribution or for the plan for their Takaful plan. A portion of the total contribution will be channeled to the Tabaru fund. These funds will be used to pay compensation of to participants who make claims that are due. The rest of their contribution will be deducted as payment of wakalah charged to the Takaful operator for performing the duties of representative in managing the services available under the plan. Next, the Tabaru funds is jointly owned by all Takaful participants when the total contribution made to Tabaru exceed the total claims and the total reserve for one financial year. This assets will be shared equally between the participants and the Takaful party. We call this surplus sharing. This means that you do not have to wait until the end of your Takaful coverage period to receive share of the assets from your contribution, and you still participate in this sharing even if a claim has been made. So next about hibah. Hibah, which means gift of inheritance, allows Takafu participants to nominate a person or several persons to receive hibah upon his death if the participant does not want his Takafu benefit to be distributed as an inheritance along with the other assets. This unique feature that is suitable for heritage type product is an advantage of the plan. Plan your legacy, leaving your benefits to your loved ones, choosing to make the nomination of conditional grant basis. This allows you to care for this allow you to care for and protect family members and loved one when you are no longer able to do so. By naming your loved ones as heirs under continuatal grant, they will be able to receive benefits after your deed without going through the usually time consuming inheritance procedure. In summary, Takaful is able to provide a financial safety net in the event that something undesirable happen. If you are not already covered, we recommended you to recommended that you subscribe to a Takaful plan. Whether you suffer from a critical illness, disability, or unexpected death, Takaful ensures that you and your loved one receive appropriate compensation and protection. So Takaful features is Islamic system, contribution tabaru, halal investment syariah seperti council. There is no element of usury riba, no element of maisir is about gambling, and no gara element is unclear. And takaful is al mudarabah is profit partner share. So this is about takaful features lah. Features, sorry. This is about takaful features. Alright. So next is about why do we need takaful in our life. So it has uh six reason why we need takaful. So the first reason is about everyone face risk. And the second reason is about protect property asset, and thirdly about protect investment. Fourthly about inherit property of not debt. Inherit property, not debt. Islamic economic jihad and pure intention to help others. Right. So the firstly, everyone face risk. The fact is we all face the risk of death, paralysis and disease, 3D death, 3D, 3D death, disability and disease, right? So it's just we don't know when and how, but keep in mind in our mind the probability for all three of these to hit us will increase day by day, which is passing day we get closer to the close to that that he has decreed. The more we move with vehicles on the road, the higher the probability of an accident that can not only cause death, but also paralysis. The older you get, the higher your risk of getting the disease. So insurance or takaful coverage can prepare your finances to deal with these three remaining risks. Upon that, there is a list composition for the wife and children. Upon paralysis, there is compensation to replace the affected source of income. When an illness strikes, there is compensation to pay bills and treatment needs. So next about property, protect property and assets or assets. If we buy a new car or if we buy a new car or pay road tax, it is a mandatory to take out vehicle insurance or takaful, right? So similarly, if you're buying a house using a bank loan or financing, it is mandatory to take out certain insurance or takaful. Why? Because the insurance or takaful will protect the property in the event of a disaster or something undesirable such as an accident, thief and fire. Insurance or takaful is not only important to protect ourselves but also the valuable property we have. The property that we need to be protected is not only physical but non-physical as well. A prime example of non-physical asset is a business carry on, which must be adequately covered by insurance or takaful. It was once reported that a radio presenter insured his voice because for him, his voice was a valuable asset. If something happened to his voice, that could affect his income. He can get appropriate compensation. So protection or takaful is very important to protect asset that can cause loss that will be suffered by disaster that can be reduced. Alright. So next about protect investment. So imagine we have just started investing using our available saving. It is common when just starting an investment, most we lost a little first, understandably still inexperienced and a lot chance have to be paid. After all, investing usually for a long time. Only then can you get a profit. Only on future we will get the profit. But unfortunately, when this just beginning, we are faced with unfortunate tragedy. For example, an accident or illness that requires high treatment costs. Add to that misfortune, despite having emergency funds, but still not enough, and we have no other saving except the ones that have been invested earlier. So, inevitably had to liquidate the investment earlier to cover the necessary cost. If this happen, not only is there a risk of loss due to the immature investment period, but it can come as extend effect of the cost of the financial goals to be achieved. If insurance or takaful coverage is taken earlier, such as a situation can be avoided. So next about inherited property. When we are gone, it's a best not to leave a lot burdens or debt to their spouse, children or heirs. Let them be saddened by our departure, coupled with the burden left behind. It's not it painful to think about. Ideally, leave a legacy or property to at least cover their needs, especially if we the main or sole source of income while life is still there. By taking out an adequate insurance or takaful coverage scheme, the problem can be overcome. Take adequate protection. Make sure the amount of compensation that will be left to the years later is enough to cover their needs to be long run. So next is about uh Islamic jihad, Islamic economic jihad. Prior the existence of just Sharia compliant takaful scheme, protection scheme were largely dominated by conventional insurance product that had elements of usury. But now many takaful product is exist to provide an alternative for Muslim to get proper protection. Unfortunately, even after a few years of takaful schemes emerging, the subscription rate is still low when compared to conventional insurance scheme even among Muslims themselves. In fact, there are handful of Muslims themselves who are skeptical and downplay takaful product. Not only is not supportive, it is even exacerbated by not being given any suggestion for improvement. So this is where the role of Muslim is to show support for an Islamic-based economic system. Choose takaful as a jihad for the Islamic economy. If if they are still subscribing to conventional insurance scheme, especially for car and house coverage, switch to takaful. If you later plan to protect yourself and your family, choose takaful product. Alright. Alright. So this is my experience working as telemarketer. Alright. When I graduate diploma in accounting, I ventured into one field of telemarketing as a telemarketer. Alright. At that time, I was first exposed to insurance such as conventional insurance and takaful insurance. I had the opportunity to promote conventional insurance, and after that, I was offered to promote insurance takaful. I need to promote takaful insurance to the government sector when there is a salary deduction from the Malaysia from Angkatan Koperasi Kebangsaan Malaysia. Yes, mean Angkasa. So 5 plans are offered by the Takaful. The participation fee start from RM20 ringgit for plan 1. You can see plan 1 from RM20. The second plan is RM25 and the third plan is RM30 and the fourth plan is RM35 ringgit. Sorry, RM RM35 ringgit, and the fifth plan is RM45 ringgit. So each plan are very different from the coverage from the composition. I mean pampasan lah. Alright, from the pampasan sangat berbeza. So I forgot to explain to everyone. The Takaful plan I am promoting is a plan Takaful personal accident. Differently from different from Takaful medical care or anything, or life insurance or S. Alright. So this plan offer three benefits, namely accidental death. Firstly about an accidental death. Secondly is about accidental death of due to snatch, thief, dengue, and the last one is accident and permanent disability. Compensation will be given after a claim made as a result of the accident to their peers who made the claim. Making a claim is also easy because it does not require an original certificate from the hospital, but only required a copy of the certificate certified by the hospital. That's all for sharing my experience in the insurance Takaful. So my advice. So my advice to buy a Takaful plan, you are advised not to buy more than one insurance plan, as only one can be claimed in the event of loss. Therefore, you are prohibited from taking advantage of Takaful or general insurance. But if you want to buy more, you need to buy a Takaful plan such as life insurance and personal accident, because the two plans are different for a plan that protect you and yourself. You and your family lah. You and your family. Yeah, sorry, you and your family. You also do not have to worry in terms of claim because there can be claim. Under Takaful plan, you can enjoy a share of the supplies from the Takaful fund at an agreed ratio if you do not make any claim during the year. To register Takaful or insurance plan, you can directly from the Takaful operator or insurance company. It's also possible to register through a registered agent, licensed broker, through the company's website, or banking institution that deal with the insurance company or Takaful operators. So the cost of insurance. Getting insurance is your responsibility to your family and loved one. You may hate it, but it is your responsibility. And thank you. Lastly, I want to say thank you for your cooperation and attention. Hope you learn something new, exciting things. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.